Hello and welcome to ARK, the complete series. If you've played on the island before, you'll probably recognise this big gate here. You might be wondering, what on earth is he doing here? Well, it's far too early to be going in there, surely. And you'd be right, actually. I'm actually here in the volcano. I mean, it's changed a lot since I first played it, because you've got all this lava around the place. But the reason I'm down here is there's a resource that I'm looking for, and that is this big black stuff over here. Yeah, it's obsidian. So, big budgie over here, that's what I've decided to call him. He can carry quite a lot, and I'm just harvesting this at the moment with the just a primitive metal pick. I'm getting quite a good stuff here. I mean, it's a brilliant place to come actually if you're after quite a few resources, because there's metal, you've got crystal, you've got stone, and you've also got the obsidian. But where's Big Budgie? Right. Good thing about Big Budgie over here is if you look at this obsidian, for instance, for me it's 29. I've got 29 pieces of it, and it weighs 29. But if I pop it onto him, it weighs half of that. Metal, got 23 of those, they weigh 23. Put it up to him, 11.5. Crystal, see, weighs 5 for me, 2.5 for him. Stone, 7 of those, weighs 3.5 for me, 1.8 for him. And that's one of the real reasons why I was so keen to get myself an argentavis. They are just brilliant for being able to carry resources around. It's hardly touching his weight at all, having all these things on. But the reason I'm after them is 'cause I want to make some progress at the base. So, for example, if we look into the electrical stuff, one of the things that I'm quite keen to get, I want to make myself an electrical generator. So that needs electronics and metal ingots, electrical outlets, pretty much the same, just needs the extra wood. But the reason I want to get those is because I want a refrigerator. The refrigerator is going to need polymer. Thinking, okay, well, what's that got to do with what you're making, what you're harvesting? Well, polymer is made with cementing paste and obsidian. So that's why I've come out here to get some obsidian. But to make the polymer, you actually need a fabricator. And to make a fabricator, we need all those bits and pieces there as well. So I've come out here basically just to get those extra items that I need, because I'm really keen to get myself a refrigerator, because I'm getting quite a lot of crops now, and the problem is they're just not lasting as long. I'm just going to get out the heat here, because I'm going to get boiled in here. It's not a good place to be. Just plunk you down there. Yeah, so I mean the crops just aren't lasting that long, so I want to get myself a refrigerator so that I can make them spoil at a much slower rate, and then that's better for me because I'm not on the actual server as often, but the server's constantly running the game, which means they'll be spoiling while I'm away. So me and Big Budgie here, we're going to be gathering some more of the gear that's around here, take it back, and then we're going to be making our items, and then I'll bring you back once we're ready. Okay then, so we got back to base, and I've made a few items using the resources that we've got, and then I ran into an interesting problem. Apparently it's well known, so that's interesting. Yeah, I've got a raised floor, because normally what I would do is I've made myself one of these internal S+ wires. So normally what you do is you build one of these, then you pop it into the actual foundation, so your electrical circuitry is all hidden. You don't have to put cables in or anything. It's all wireless. It's brilliant, a lot less hassle than the vanilla. I did the same for the water a while back, but since the update for Homestead 29.3.100, I believe it is, the snap points have gone for the S+ foundations. And I was looking back on the previous video, because I I'd had a problem with one of the pillars where it didn't snap to the ceilings. So it is to do with the actual latest update. It's stopping these things like foundations and pillars and ceilings, I believe, from having snap points. So it's caused a bit of a problem because I was getting really confused because I went to put that, those wires down, and as you can see, they're just not snapping this thing. There's no snap point. So I thought, hang on, is that because it needs to go into a stone wall? I couldn't remember. I've only ever used them in stone walls. Completely forgot about the water ones, so of course. But pick this foundation up here. Pick this wooden one up. Put down a stone one, but it wouldn't fit. It just wouldn't snap to anything. So that's odd. So I put the wooden one back, and as you can see, it's at a height. It just wouldn't snap at all. I've gone over the forums, and it's a known problem since this update's come out. I honestly can't understand. I mean, it's been in beta. Why nobody noticed it is just truly beyond me. But I mean, let's just do like an example if I can find one. So there's a wood foundation. So I'm going to put this on the floor. So this is an S plus foundation. I'll build a wooden wall. We'll have that. So it's had no problem, putting that on the actual floor. No problems whatsoever. I get the wall, and it just won't snap. It's refusing to snap. Oddly enough, it'll snap to these walls up here, but it won't snap to the foundations. It's like things like foundations have lost their snap points. And it might explain the pillars as well, as I say, because usually when you put a pillar down, it creates a snap point around it. And so yeah, that kind of like threw me, that. Now what I'll do is, just in comparison, I'll build one of the normal ones. So these are the vanilla ones. Let's see. So that comes under structures, wood. Yeah, so that's the vanilla foundation. I mean, there is a setting to put a setting in. Somebody suggested putting that in. I've rebooted the server with this new setting, but it doesn't make any difference whatsoever. So that's the vanilla version. Let's see. So you can actually change it to make it look like the S plus one. Change it back. Now, see how the wall now snaps to it. So this is an S plus wall, and it's snapping to the vanilla foundation, but it won't actually snap to the S plus foundation. So it's kind of messed things up a bit, but I'm just going to work around it. So I've put my little wooden foundation back. I've put this electrical generator down for now, and I don't have any engrams to do what I used to do. I used to put in a vertical cable, but I don't have enough engrams to learn the vertical one. So I've built this one as a temporary solution. So that's just a straight one. We'll attach that. So I've got some gasoline in there. That's made by putting oil and hide into the forge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide the cable. I will disable the sparks, and I'll hide the box. The good thing is it's not blocking my passage. I can walk straight around, no problems. Now, what I do also have then is my fabricator. So this is the normal S plus one. So what I'll do is I'll see if I can get that to go in there. I mean, as best I can. I can't really sort of like make out much from the back with me being indoors. I don't see very well. As if it's outdoors, you can usually get a good eye on what's going on, but I can't really get a good camera view. So I'm in a bit of a pickle where I'm gonna have to pretty much just eyeball it. I mean, I can line it up with that. So it's not quite straight. Yeah, because I'm going into K mode and it's just not quite straight. So it looks like it's just come slightly out from the wall. But I can't zoom out any further, unfortunately. So I'm just going to leave it there. I mean, that'll do. I can't really do much around here. I was like toying with the idea of putting the fridges in there, but it's a bit cramped there, and I wanted to leave a bit of room so I could get into the crafting station. So I've now got to make a refrigerator. I'll just keep a hold of that wire, so hopefully this will get fixed. But I want to make an actual freezer, a refrigerator rather. So that needs what? I need another 15 polymer. So polymer's pretty easy enough to make. It needs cementing paste, and it needs the obsidian, which we've got. So that's being the S plus one. This one just turns on, it just stays on, turned on, powered on by the generator. I don't have to give it its own sort of like gasoline or anything. And I'd rather do that. It just means I've just now got one device that I can have to keep putting the fuel in. So when the fridge comes on stream, I can keep that powered as well. So we'll just wait for that. I mean, the cementing paste, I had quite a bit of it spare, and I had a bit of resources to make some in the little mortar and pestle there. If you've got keratin or chitin and some stone, you can make it there. But there's a load of little beaver dams just down the stream, so I went and borrowed some from them. Right, so let's see. So refrigerator. So now we've got enough to make our refrigerator. So we'll make that, and then I'll go and put it in the other corner then. Right, let's go and plunk that over here. Be interesting to see actually, because if I make another one of these, I'm curious to see if that'll snap. It's not quite where I want it to be. Step back a bit. Actually, I'll do it that way. See if I can see it from that angle. Yeah, that'll do. So we've now got a fridge. So, just as a comparison, that's on what, 25 minutes? Quick dash. It's about 4 hours, so it'll last a lot longer anyway. I mean, it'll still probably like decompose. Actually, no, that's hours. That's days, isn't it? That's days. So hang on, that's 24 minutes and roughly 40 seconds. Oh, I can't tell because it's the same thing, but that's 4 days, 4 hours rather. I'm getting totally confused now. 4 hours and 3 minutes. So that's still going to decompose while I'm offline. Drat. What about this? So that's got about like an hour. I could have sworn that would last for days. So that's got about 16 hours. Boo-hoo. Carrots, 34 minutes. Oh, we already know we've already done it with a sit rail, don't we? So that's going to just give you hours instead of... I mean, it's still got to be better, because if you've got a stack of them, I mean, each, it just means that one item in the stack spoils. So it's bound to last still like a heck of a lot longer than than it would have done in this refrigerator. May as well get the kibbles as well. And then, I don't particularly need the spoiled meat, but dump everything into here. So this should all last at least, a lot longer than it was before. Not as long as I thought. I thought it'd be lasting for days. It doesn't. It just lasts hours, but c'est la vie. Right, so I'll just leave the eggs because the eggs will last for ages. I'll just leave them there for now. But the problem now is I need tons and tons of oil. I mean, I've been getting the oil from things like the tech stegos and the tech parasaurs. you need 6 oil and 5 hide to make 1 gasoline, but that actually generates 5 tanks of gasoline for you. But if I'm going to be offline, I'm going to need a lot of gasoline to keep this fridge going, which means I'm going to need a lot of oil as well. Now, there is different places you can get it from, and it's usually up in the the snow biomes up in the north, is where it's up on the surface. Now, I do want to go up there and get some, but it's going to be really, really cold. So the plan is to make some fur. Now I've got the engrams for all but one. So because I've got a pretty high fortitude, so I think I'll last a bit longer with those. But I need quite a lot of pelts. So the plan is, me and Big Budgie, we're going to go and hunt probably go and hunt for dire wolves. I think that's the easiest thing, because he'll be able to pick them up. And you'll be able to get rid of them quite quickly. So the plan is we're going to go up to the north and go and hunt dire wolves. So I'll be back in a minute. Aha! My arch nemesis is wandering around here, or rather, one of them is. I did have to get rid of that other one. Yeah, it was really getting annoying. So I used admin commands to get rid of it. And then, oddly enough, another one just suddenly popped up right at the end of the plateau anyway, so it's like, oh no. But anyway, I mean, you can see, I mean, we're ice cubed, because it's -5, so we're going to be losing health while we're up here. There's some dire wolves out and about, and we can get pelt from them. And the good thing about this RG is it can pick up dire wolves. Ow! Stop! Oi! Stop that! That's not part of the plan. You're not supposed to be, biting me. So now, hopefully I can get rid of this thing before its friends come back and decide to take it. Now, where did that go to? Right, so we got about 14 pelt out of that one. Sometimes the body just drops to the ground. This is not helping me. I mean, it's -6 and we've got a snowstorm, so I need 240 pelt to make all of those fur armor items. So that's a heck of a lot. And I can't see any more dire wolves. Where did they all go to? They all ran off. I mean, another option, there was some mammoths down here. I could go after them. Trouble is, I've got to be a bit careful out here, because there are Eutrianus wandering around this area. They can be a real pain, because if they spook your dino, it'll run away. Oh, there's some silica pearls down there. Oh, that'll be handy. Is that a Eutrianus? Oh, yeah, there's a Eutrianus over there, so I want to stay well clear of that. I suppose what I could have done is I could have done with an otter, actually, because otters are really good, because they actually give you some really good insulation. So I'm pretty sure I saw some. Let's see if I can get some pelt out of this Megalosaurus. I mean, I know I can definitely get some out of the mammoths and the dire wolves, because that's usually what I go for, to be honest. I can get quite a lot out of the mammoths as well, but I think there's 2 of them over there. They're mate boosted, so it'll be a bit harder. I don't think they were particularly high level. At least one of them wasn't, anyway. Oh, Struth! I spoke too soon. At 145. Oops. I think I'll go and look elsewhere. Otherwise, it's going to take me a long time to take that thing down. But anyway, that's pretty much what I'm just going to do. I'm just going to wander around here looking for anything that can give me pelt, because I need 240 just to make those 4 items that I've got the engrams for. And then once I've got those, I can then go out and get myself some oil, which is up in this colder biome. So I'm just going to keep beavering away with these, and then I'll bring you back shortly. Blimey, I don't remember the cold up there being so bad. Not when I've got this like 30 fortitude. Last time I ever played the island, I used to be able to get away pretty much with like that sort of like level fortitude, but while I was up there I was literally freezing to death. I just couldn't cope with the cold. My character was getting ice cubed, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some of this freer curry because it boosts your hypothermic insulation level. I mean, with this stuff we've got, this is slightly better than the cloth that I've got, but this should give me a bit more boost as well, so it needs quite a bit of resources, but I'm going to make some of this and then I'll go back out. The other thing I've remembered as well is the RG doesn't really harvest the pelt that well, so it's better if I do that. So it's better if I can get the RG to kill the actual dino, and then I'll harvest it and I'll get much more pelt. Because I mean I took out I think it was a woolly mammoth and I hardly got any pelt with her. So I should have really harvested it with my pickaxe. So I'll make this freer curry, then I'll go back out there again. Well, it's a while since I've actually used soups in the gameplays for ARK, but I mean we're out here in the colder biome up in the north. I mean we're ice cubed, and I mean I've got what 168 for hypothermal insulation. So I'll take one of these. It's boosted it up to 225, which is better. You get about 15 minutes according to the recipe it said. So it says, yeah, effects last 15 minutes. So we've gone now down just like to an icicle instead of being, ice cubed. So that should be a lot better actually. And what I've done is I've started, I'm getting these pelts off some dire wolves, but I was being a bit more careful to make sure that she didn't actually harvest it with her last sort of like attack, so that I could just harvest it with an ice pick. So level 20 should be easy enough to finish this dude off. See how much I can get off you, mate. Oh, I don't know why I'm calling you mate, given that I'm about to get rid of you. Come on. You get in there. Almost. We've almost got it. Just a bit more. I don't want to harvest it, that's the thing. You're not looking very well now. There you go. I suppose the good news for this thing is it'll get a lot of XP in the process, right? So, how much will we get from you then? Oh, that's a lot better. I think I was only getting about 3 or 4. I think I was only getting something like 3 or 4 when I was harvesting it with the argentavis here. So that's a lot better now. So we've now up to what, 124. So I'm about halfway there. So I'm going to plod on. Once we've got all the pelt that we need, I'll bring you back. Okay, so I've made my way up the west coast here. We've made all of the actual fur armor that I could make. It's now just gone from being like ice cube to we've just got the snowflake now, which is a lot better. I mean, while I was out there, I actually got took out by a polymer. It knocked me off the mount, and Big Budgie here managed to take it out, but then a blooming raptor jumped me and I got killed. So it was a case of I had to go all the way back out with a pteranodon to try and get my body back and to get Big Budgie back as well. But the trouble was the body was just high up in the air because the raptor had sort of like ran up this rock that I was on and pounced me, so my body was stuck up in the air instead of being on the floor. So that was a bit of a pain. I couldn't realistically see me getting it back because I was stuck with, in the area there was some raptors and a lot of, I think it was direwolves. Yeah, there was a lot of direwolves in the area as well. I mean, if I wanted to get that bag back, I would have had to build some foundations up there to get it back, so I could reach it. So I just rode it off. I mean, it was only really just a few bits and pieces that I was carrying, so it didn't really matter. But anyway, the reason I've come up here is that's where you can get the oil. So there's a stone there where we'll be able to get oil from. But this is a quite good place. It's right up on that western tip. Well, northwest I should say. See it right there. on the 30 point. So it's easy enough to come out here, you know, once you've got your fur, and you can just mine these. These are usually pretty quiet. You sometimes get things will like jump off the edges every now and again, but most of the time it's quiet. If you're after organic polymer, there's some Kairuku down here. There's another load of shells up there. So there's quite a few of these stones dotted around. You can see there's like a big ice shelf over there. So you see what I mean? These things just tend to like drop off the edge. There's a Daedon deciding to chase a Megalosaurus there. So yeah, so you got to be careful. I mean, you could be mining stuff. Next thing you know, something's jumped off the edge and decides to gank you. But I'm just going to head back here because I'm going to have, well, I think I'm just going to head up here and see if I can stop here to get my stamina. So yeah, there's tons of like rocks. I mean, you'll get oil and you'll get stone. Have we got our stamina yet? Almost. Nearly. But aside from the things jumping off the rocks, it's relatively quiet out here, to be honest. Or at least it was last time I was playing on the island anyway. So we're just going to drop down to here. Ooh, now that's interesting. There's a lead Sichthus stuck over here. That's a really interesting creature they've introduced to the map. It's I don't know what on earth it's doing there of all places. I mean, that's just a weird place to be. It's an alpha one as well. How bizarre. They're quite interesting those, because if you can actually get prime fish meat off these things. But they attack you. They were introduced because you used to be able to build like really great rafts and get around the map. But then they built these, they brought these things into the game. And the trouble is, what they do is they attack you if you're on a raft, which is annoying. But let's see if I can get up to it. Oh, I don't know if you can do it with an alpha. It's not letting me do it. But like at least I know with a normal one, you can get prime fish meat off it. So there's a bit of a cooldown, but every so often it gives you prime, you know, the raw prime fish meat, which is brilliant. Excellent source of this stuff. Anyway, we came out here for oil. So most of the stuff I'll get, you know, if I want oil, is just to get it off these. It's easy enough done. I don't particularly need the stone. But I'm just going to basically wander around and hack up all these rocks, get myself tons and tons of oil, and then I can take that back and make myself tons of gasoline. But I mean, later on in the game you can get it from the, was it the Basilosaurus as well? Yeah, the Basilosaurus, it actually produces oil on a kind of like a regular basis, so you can get oil from them as well. So they're a good source of oil. But for now I'm just going to make do with hang on a minute, what's going on here? Well, there's Big Budgie over there. Right, so anyway, I'm just going to go wandering around chopping up all these rocks, because I'm going to need tons and tons of oil. So once I've got that, I'll bring you back. So there you go then, we've now got ourselves oodles of gasoline. So hopefully that'll keep this generator going for quite a while I'm offline. I mean, I've got like tons of oil still left over, and really the aim is to keep this refrigerator going so that it'll preserve the vegetables a lot longer. I mean, I'll still hold on to the preserving bin because I need that to make the different jerkies. And as far as I'm aware, I'll just check, but I think some of these kibbles, so there's that one there. Yeah, so that one needs cooked meat jerky. I think one of them needs, and that one needs prime meat jerky. So there's still a good enough reason to keep hold of the preserving bin and make the jerkies then, because I'll need it for the kibbles. But it's a case of I could do with a bit more storage, because I want to move the eggs across as well. Now it's got a capacity of 100, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another refrigerator, because I like to keep like a good supply of meat, good supply of medical brews, that sort of thing. So I could do with the capacity, but I mean that's pretty much it. I mean the main thing I wanted to cover really was just like how to go out and get the oil. I mean it's easy enough to do. I mean theoretically you could really, you know, just go out there, you know, take some of this Freya curry with you, make sure you've got a campfire, just plunk yourself down there with your RG, go out and, you know, gather the oil from the rocks, run back to the campfire if you're feeling cold, you know, get yourself some you know, eat some cooked food to sort of, you know, get your health back and so on. So it's easy enough you could do it without necessarily needing the fur, but it does make it easier. And that's one of the reasons I like to get the RG first, because I need to be able to get out there and carry things and take on the bigger dinos, and the RGs are just great all-rounders really. They're just ideal, I find. So they are my favourite dino, I must admit. Day to day I'll always use one of those. It's a bit of a shame about what's happened to S+. I mean the Homestead update's only just come out, and I honestly I don't know why, but for whatever reason these foundations are now broke. I suppose realistically going forward you'd probably want to use the vanilla foundations anyway. Forget about the S+ ones and just focus on those. But for the likes of myself who's been building these things with S+, I'm kind of stuck until they fix the actual the problem here, because I can't snap anything to the foundations that I've already got, and I can't put anything else in their place because nothing's going to snap to any of these foundations. So I end up with this kind of a ridge, if you will. But hopefully they'll sort that out, and then I can tidy that little area up. Other than that, I've got myself now a GPS, because I'd learned the engram for that, so that was pretty easy enough to make. There's an industrial grill. I've learned the engram for that, so I need more metal ingots, so I'm just going to do that offline. The plan is to basically replace that campfire over there with the industrial grill, because that'll cook food at a much faster rate, and I want to be able to store a good supply of like spare meat over there, cooked meat, because usually that'll come online, and you know, whatever cooked meat I had's now spoiled. So it makes my life easier if I just keep a good supply of it anyway. But other than that, I'd say that's about it for this video. There's still quite a lot I want to get done, but I'm kind of reluctant to build anything at the moment until I resolve this this problem with the S+ foundations. It's basically broken. I'm used to using the S+ ones. I might switch over to like the vanilla ones for structures going forward, but I still want to hold on to the S+ mod itself, because it's got a lot of good features that I'm not seeing. Like for instance, like this for instance here, auto opening doors. That's something I'm not going to get on the vanilla ones. I'll have to check out for myself, but I quite like the way they've done this as well. You know, you can switch these between ramps and stairs. That's really good. I like those as well. Then there's, I mean, I've got all these plants that are in here. They've introduced a really good feature now where you can actually change these. You can actually create these like really wonderful ones. I mean, these are just like the normal crop plots, but they've got some nice new crop plots that it just looks like normal soil basically. They're very modular, so it makes things a whole lot more interesting, so you can like have your own field and so on. And then there's all the automation that goes with it as well, with the farmer and the gardener and so on. I really like those things, because for someone like me, when you're playing on your own, all of these crops go to waste. You know, the compost bins aren't getting looked after. The fertilizer isn't getting automatically transferred across. Nobody's automatically picking up the actual all the vegetables here once the fruit. Whereas I can get little, you know, like I can get a farmer and a gardener in to make that a whole lot easier. So I'm still going to hang on to S+ for the foreseeable future. But I think when it comes to the structures themselves, I'll slowly start to migrate over to the vanilla ones, and be interesting to see what we can do with those. But anyway, that's it for this video. I do hope you've enjoyed watching it. If so, then do please leave a like, because that'll help me out a great deal. If you've got any comments, any suggestions, any feedback at all you'd like to leave, please post that in the comments section below. And if you're new to the channel and you'd like to see more content, then yeah, do please subscribe. But just remember to click that little bell icon, because that way you get new actual notifications for when new content comes out. But until the next video, thanks very much for watching. Bye.